The 48 Laws of Power by Robert Greene. The unfiltered psychology of dominance, control, influence, and human behavior. Not fiction, not motivation, but the rules people use behind closed doors, even if they'll never admit it. Today, we're not reading the book, we're decoding it, turning every law into something you can use to protect yourself, rise higher, and never be blindsided again. If you're ready to see how power really works, let's begin. Section 1. Laws of Perception and Influence. Law 1. Never outshine the master. Power begins with understanding human ego. Imagine this. Nicolas Fouquet, the finance minister of France, threw the most spectacular celebration the kingdom had ever seen. Thousands of candles, fountains, musicians, poets, all to honor King Louis XIV. But instead of feeling honored, the king felt overshadowed. Here was a man, a servant, throwing a party more magnificent than the king himself could afford. And in that moment, admiration turned into resentment. Within days, Fouquet was arrested and locked away for life. Why? Because the master felt outshined, and power hates comparison. The lesson is brutal, but true. You can be talented, brilliant, even extraordinary, but never so extraordinary that the people above you feel threatened. Shine, but let them shine brighter. Grow, but let them believe they are helping you grow. Influence, but let them feel in control. This law is not about dimming your light, but about dimming it strategically so it never blinds the wrong eyes. Law 2. Never put too much trust in friends. Learn how to use enemies. Friendship is emotional. Power is not. Robert Greene tells the story of Emperor Michael III, who trusted his best friend Basilius. Michael gave him wealth, status, even made him co-emperor. But the moment Basilius felt secure, he killed Michael and took the throne. Why? Because friends feel entitled, they expect more, and when they don't get it, resentment grows. Enemies, however, come with clarity. When you make peace with someone who once hated you, they work harder to prove their loyalty because they have something to lose and everything to gain. This law isn't saying don't have friends. It's saying don't depend on emotions when making strategic decisions. Reward competence, not comfort. Reward loyalty earned, not loyalty assumed. Sometimes the person who once wanted to defeat you will fight harder to defend you than a friend ever will. Law 3. Conceal your intentions. The enemy of power is predictability. When people know your plans, they can block them, sabotage them, or manipulate them. When they don't know, they fill the silence with their own assumptions, and you move freely. Take Otto von Bismarck, the architect of modern Germany. He often spoke vaguely, joked, or gave misleading hints about his goals. While rivals tried to interpret his words, he quietly aligned alliances, negotiated treaties, and took bold actions while everyone else was distracted. By the time they understood his real intention, his plan was already complete. The point is this: you don't need to lie. You need to redirect attention. Talk about your past, not your future. Share your joys, not your ambitions. Reveal your thoughts, not your strategy. Mystery protects you. Silence moves you forward. Your intentions are precious. Guard them like treasure. Law 4. Always say less than necessary. Powerful people speak in short, deliberate sentences. Why? Because every extra word is a window into your mind, your fears, your desires, your weaknesses. Louis XIV mastered this. Courtiers would spend hours preparing speeches for him, and after listening, the king would respond with only 3 words: "I shall see." Those 3 words carried more weight than 100 explanations. People feared what they couldn't interpret. They couldn't predict him, couldn't analyze him, couldn't manipulate him. Silence became his throne. The moment you over-explain, you give others control. The moment you rush to fill silence, you show insecurity. The moment you talk too much, you reveal too much. Speak with intention. Leave room for others to guess. Let silence make them uncomfortable. When your words decrease, your presence increases. Law 5. Guard your reputation with your life. Reputation is your shadow. It arrives before you, stays after you, and influences how every person treats you. In ancient China, generals built reputations so fierce that enemies surrendered without a single battle. One general, Sun Pin, cultivated an image of being unpredictable and ruthless. Just the rumor of his involvement in a campaign would break enemy morale. Your reputation is a shield, but also a sword. A strong reputation wins trust, deters rivals, opens doors, protects you in times of chaos. A weak one invites attack. And here's the secret: you don't need to be perfect. You need to be consistent. Decide what you want to be known for, protect that identity, and when necessary, strategically destroy the reputation of those who try to destroy yours without ever appearing involved. Power is rarely about truth. It is about perception. Law 6. Court attention at all costs. Power cannot thrive in the dark. Pablo Picasso understood this better than anyone. Whenever the world's attention shifted away, he would release something shocking. Strange paintings, bold statements, unexpected behavior, anything to keep people talking. Attention is influence. Attention is income. Attention is power. If you blend in, you disappear. If you stand out, even controversially, you stay relevant. This doesn't mean seeking chaos. It means creating a magnetic presence. Use bold ideas, unique branding, unconventional thinking, surprising moves. Make yourself too noticeable to ignore, because in a world drowning in noise, the person who captures attention captures opportunity. Visibility is leverage, and the invisible have none. Section 2. Laws of Strategy and Power Dynamics. Law 7. Get others to do the work for you, but always take the credit. Power is not about doing everything yourself. It's about making things happen through others. Think of Thomas Edison. He didn't sit alone in a room inventing every device with his own hands. He built a genius factory, a team of brilliant minds who experimented, tested, failed, improved. Yet the world remembers one name, Edison. Why? Because he controlled the platform, the narrative, and the spotlight. This law teaches one thing. Your time and energy are limited. Your influence multiplies when you leverage other people's skills, networks, and labor. Give them tasks. Let them shine, but not brighter than you. Let them work, but you claim the vision. People forget the helpers, but they remember the leader. In power, the credit belongs to the name at the top. Make sure that name is yours. Law 8. Make other people come to you. Use bait if necessary. The one who commands the battlefield controls the outcome. In ancient warfare, generals knew that if you chased the enemy, you fought on their terms. But if you lured them to your chosen ground, the terrain, the timing, the traps, victory was yours before the battle began. Power works the same. Make your opponents abandon their plan. Make them react. Make them chase. How? With bait, opportunities, promises, rewards, information, silence. When they come to you, they reveal their strategy. They expose their fears. And they step into the frame you built for them. The one who moves second, but chooses the field, always holds the advantage. Control isn't about aggression, it's about gravitational pull. Law 9. Win through your actions, never through argument. Arguments rarely change minds, they deepen resistance. Two people argue, both walk away believing they were right, and both hold quiet resentment. Actions, however, bypass ego. Think of Galileo. When the church refused to accept that the earth moved around the sun, he didn't fight endlessly. He quietly wrote books, made diagrams, and shared observations. His demonstrations outlived every argument. In your life, don't try to convince people with words. Show them what is true. If you're strong, they'll feel it. If you're skilled, they'll see it. If you're right, your results will prove it. Let your success be your voice. Let your achievements settle the debate. Silence supported by results is more powerful than loud opinions supported by nothing. Law 10. Avoid the unhappy and unlucky. People are emotional magnets. They transfer whatever they carry. There are two types of people, those who lift you and those who drain you. History is filled with rulers destroyed not by armies, but by toxic companions. Consider the story of Lola Montez, a captivating woman whose chaos destroyed King Ludwig of Bavaria. He adored her, protected her, elevated her, but her anger, scandals, and unpredictable behavior turned the public against him, and he lost his throne. Misery spreads. Negativity infects. Bad luck is contagious. Surround yourself with people who are rising, people who carry optimism, stability, strength. Avoid those addicted to drama, crisis, and failure. They will pull you into storms that are not yours. Protect your emotional environment the way a king protects his kingdom. Law 11. Learn to keep people dependent on you. Dependence is the engine of long-term power. If people can walk away from you easily, they will. If people need you, they stay loyal, even when they don't want to. Think of ancient advisors who controlled kings not by force, but by knowledge. They knew things the king didn't. They understood maps, treaties, codes, sciences. Losing them meant losing the ability to rule. To apply this law, develop a unique value, something others can't replicate. Become the only person who can solve a specific problem. Make yourself vital to someone's success, comfort, or stability. But never teach them everything. Never give them all the tools. Never make yourself replaceable. When people rely on you for their prosperity, they will never risk going against you. Power is not just about strength. It's about being needed. Law 12. Use selective honesty and generosity to disarm your victim. One sincere act can erase 100 doubts. Con artists, negotiators, kings all understood this. The quickest way to win trust is not constant truth, but targeted truth. A perfect example is the legendary criminal Charles Lucky Luciano. He once released a rival from captivity as a gesture of friendship, even gave him money and protection. The rival relaxed, believed in Luciano's kindness, and later walked straight into a trap he never saw coming. Why did it work? Because generosity lowers defenses, honesty creates emotional debt, kindness blinds people to danger. This law is not about cruelty, it's about strategy. When used ethically, a sincere apology, a genuine gift, or an honest compliment can soften even the toughest person. It creates openness, it builds trust, it allows influence. Just remember, honesty is powerful because it is rare. Use it sparingly, at the right moment for maximum impact. The truth is a weapon when used with precision. Section 3. Laws of defense, control, and social positioning. Law 13. When asking for help, appeal to self-interest, never to mercy. Humans don't move because of gratitude. They move because of gain. History is full of failed pleas where people begged for mercy, reminding others of past favors, and got nothing in return. Ironic, isn't it? The more you remind people of what they owe you, the faster they run from you. But consider a moment from ancient China. A general once asked his rival for reinforcements. Instead of saying, "I helped you before," he promised the rival full credit for the victory and control of the richest territory if the mission succeeded. The rival agreed instantly. Why? Because people don't act from kindness. They act from calculation. In your world, if you need help, don't talk about your struggles. Don't remind them of your loyalty. Show them what they stand to gain by supporting you. Make your request feel like an opportunity, not an obligation. Nobody cares about your past deeds, but everyone cares about their future advantage. Law 14. Pose as a friend, work as a spy. Information is the currency of power, and the person who knows the most wins. In the courts of ancient France, nobles mingled not to socialize, but to gather secrets. A smile hid a plan, a compliment hid a question, a toast hid a trap. The brilliant Talleyrand, master diplomat, understood this perfectly. He listened more than he spoke. He asked harmless questions, observed reactions, noted weaknesses. While others bragged, he collected ammunition. You don't need to betray anyone, but you must observe. What do people desire? What do they fear? What stresses them? What do they hide? Because when conflict comes, the person without information walks blindfolded into battle. Be warm, be friendly, but pay attention. People reveal everything when they feel safe. Your greatest advantage is knowing what others think you don't know. Law 15. Crush your enemy totally. It sounds harsh, but partial victories often lead to future wars. In ancient Rome, Julius Caesar once spared a defeated rival, believing mercy would win loyalty. Years later, the same man sparked a rebellion that nearly killed Caesar and cost thousands of lives. A wounded enemy is a waiting storm. This law isn't about violence, it's about closure. If someone is undermining you, if a competitor wants your position, if a rival spreads doubt about you, do not half-solve the problem. Do not hope they'll change. Do not let them retreat, regroup, and return. End the conflict completely. Remove their influence, their leverage, their access, their foothold, not out of cruelty, but for peace. A threat suppressed survives. A threat eliminated disappears. Law 16. Use absence to increase respect and honor. Presence builds familiarity. Absence builds value. Think of celebrities who vanish for months and return to massive hype. Mystery amplifies interest. Silence sharpens attention. In medieval courts, nobles who were too available became background noise, taken for granted. But those who appeared only during key moments were treated like rare jewels. In your life, don't overshare. Don't be constantly visible. Don't respond instantly to every message. Don't attend every gathering. When you pull back strategically, people notice your silence. They reflect on your importance. Your presence becomes an event, not an expectation. Absence works only after you've built credibility, but once you have, it becomes a powerful amplifier. Distance creates desire. Scarcity creates value. Law 17. Keep others in suspense. Cultivate an air of unpredictability. Predictable people are easy to control. Unpredictable people are impossible to manipulate. In warfare, the greatest generals used this law ruthlessly. They changed patterns, struck when least expected, retreated when victory seemed certain. Their enemies wasted energy trying to guess the next move. Even in everyday life, people fear what they cannot predict. If you always react the same way, if your emotions are obvious, if your routine is transparent, people will use it against you. But if you're calm one day, silent the next, if you don't reveal everything, if your decisions surprise, people respect you more. Not because they fear you, but because they can't control you. Be reliable in character, unpredictable in strategy. Predictability gives others power over you. Mystery gives you power over them. Law 18. Do not build fortresses to protect yourself. Isolation is dangerous. Walls feel safe, but they block information. When leaders lock themselves away, emotionally or physically, they lose access to the whispers, the shifts, the tensions, the opportunities that shape power. A famous example: when the last Byzantine emperor isolated himself inside his palace to avoid conflict, he lost touch with the collapsing empire outside. By the time he stepped out, the walls, both literal and metaphorical, had already fallen. Isolation weakens awareness. Isolation increases vulnerability. Isolation kills influence. The safe strategy? Circulate, connect, listen, be present in the world. You don't need to be exposed, but you must stay informed. Power comes from people, alliances, and information, all of which die in isolation. You cannot control a world you no longer understand. Section 4. Laws of mastery, timing, and psychological advantage. Law 19. Know who you're dealing with. Do not offend the wrong person. Power collapses fastest when you underestimate the wrong opponent. Some people forgive, some people forget, but others, a single insult becomes a lifelong mission for revenge. In Japan's Edo period, a young samurai mocked an older, quiet swordsman, assuming age meant weakness. The old man said nothing, but months later, he challenged the samurai and defeated him effortlessly. The young warrior didn't understand who he had offended until it was too late. The lesson? People are not equal in temperament. Some are volatile, some are patient, some are vindictive, some are diplomatic. Before you challenge, criticize, or oppose someone, read them. Understand their ego, their triggers, their hidden power. The wrong person can destroy years of progress with one strike. Power is not just about strategy, it's about choosing the right battlefield and the right opponent. Law 20. Do not commit to anyone. Neutrality isn't weakness, it's leverage. Throughout history, the most powerful figures avoided taking sides until the last moment. Why? Because the moment you commit, you lose your options. Take Queen Elizabeth I. Surrounded by kings who demanded alliances, pressured to marry for politics, pushed to declare loyalty, she remained non-committal. Both sides courted her. Both feared losing her. Her independence became her greatest weapon. Similarly, in your life, don't rush into partnerships. Don't pledge loyalty to people who haven't earned it. Don't make long-term decisions out of fear or pressure. The one who stays unattached becomes the prize. People compete for them. They dictate terms. When you commit late, you commit from a position of strength, not desperation. Law 21. Play a sucker to catch a sucker. Seem dumber than your mark. Ego blinds people more than ignorance. A fascinating example comes from ancient China, where strategist Han Xin pretended to be a coward. He let bullies humiliate him, step over him, mock him. They believed he was weak and ignored him. Years later, when he became commander of the empire's armies, those same men found themselves begging for mercy. By appearing harmless, he avoided threats and gathered control quietly. In real life, people relax around those they think are less intelligent. They reveal more, they underestimate, they drop their guard. This law isn't about deception, it's about restraint. Let others feel superior. Let them underestimate you. Their overconfidence becomes your shield. Sometimes the most powerful move is to hide your power. Law 22. Use the surrender tactic. Transform weakness into power. When you're outmatched, retreat is not defeat, it's strategy. The legendary general Sun Tzu wrote, "When you are weak, appear passive." He understood something most people forget. If you fight on your enemy's terms, you lose. If you wait, observe, and recover, you take control back. A perfect example comes from the story of a small fortress under siege. They pretended to surrender, offering food and gifts to the attackers. The enemy relaxed, celebrated, and weeks later, when supplies ran low and morale dropped, the defeated fortress struck back and won. Surrender buys time. Time buys opportunity. Opportunity buys power. When life pushes you into a corner, don't always push back. Step aside. Let the storm pass. Then strike when your strength is restored. Surrender is not the end. It's the reset button for a smarter attack. Law 23. Concentrate your forces. Power grows strongest when it is focused, not scattered. Think of a magnifying glass. Spread the sun's rays wide and nothing happens. Focus them on a single point and fire emerges. History's greatest empires, entrepreneurs, and leaders mastered this law. They didn't chase 10 goals. They chose one. They didn't build 50 alliances. They nurtured a few powerful ones. In medieval Europe, rising families didn't seek dozens of small supporters. They sought one key patron, one fat cow who could feed their success for years. In your life, stop scattering your attention. Stop chasing every opportunity. Stop diversifying before you dominate. Choose one strength, one skill, one direction, one mentor, one battlefield. Depth beats width, mastery beats multitasking. Concentrate your force, and the world feels your impact. Law 24. Play the perfect courtier. Power lives in social environments, offices, families, organizations, teams, communities, and the person who rises is not the loudest, but the most diplomatic. In royal courts, those who survived weren't the strongest warriors, but the smoothest players. They mastered tone, timing, compliments, silence, humor, deference, charm. A perfect courtier makes people feel important without becoming a servant. They stand out without threatening the boss. They influence without appearing ambitious. In modern life, this is emotional intelligence in its purest form. Let others take credit publicly. Make people feel heard. Avoid direct criticism. Speak less than necessary. Never outshine the leader. Help others win without revealing your strategy. People will elevate the person who makes them feel secure. The perfect courtier doesn't fight for power, they receive it. Social mastery is the highest form of influence. Section 5. Laws of identity, image, and performance. Law 25. Recreate yourself. People will put labels on you, unless you choose your own identity. History is full of figures who refuse to live inside the boxes society put them in. Take Napoleon. He wasn't born a French noble. He wasn't destined for greatness. But he recreated himself through posture, presence, ambition, and a larger-than-life persona. He didn't wait for approval. He declared his image, and the world adjusted around him. This law reminds you, you're not obligated to be who you were yesterday. If your current identity limits you, shed it like an old skin. Dress differently. Speak differently. Move with intention. Rewrite the narrative. People follow the image you project, not the person you used to be. When you shape yourself deliberately, power flows naturally toward the version of you that commands respect. Law 26. Keep your hands clean. Powerful people appear flawless, not because they are flawless, but because they never let their mistakes be traced back to them. In ancient courts, rulers rarely carried out punishments themselves. They used advisors, enforcers, or circumstances to do the dirty work, preserving their appearance of fairness and purity. A modern version? Corporate leaders who let middle management execute the hard decisions while they maintain a calm, compassionate image at the top. The secret is simple. Let others deliver the bad news. Let others take responsibility for unpopular actions. Let accidents happen on their own. Maintain an image of grace, dignity, and consistency. Because once your hands look stained, people no longer trust your leadership. Power is a performance, and the one with clean hands wins the crowd. Law 27. Play on people's need to believe to create a following. Humans aren't driven by logic, they're driven by longing. Throughout history, charismatic leaders rose not because of facts, but because they offered something deeper: hope, meaning, belonging, a story to believe in. Consider Joan of Arc. A teenage girl with no rank became the symbol of an entire nation, not because she wielded power, but because she embodied a belief. People followed her not for strategy, but for the promise she represented. To use this law ethically, give people something bigger than themselves: a vision, a mission, a story of future success they can be part of. People crave purpose, and they gravitate to anyone who offers it. When you speak to the heart instead of the mind, you build loyalty that logic can't break. Law 28. Enter action with boldness. Hesitation is more dangerous than a wrong decision. History's greatest victories came not from perfection, but from decisive courage. Julius Caesar crossing the Rubicon, Alexander charging into battle first, entrepreneurs launching ideas before the world thought they were ready. Boldness has a psychological effect. It shocks, it inspires, it confuses opponents, it pushes people to follow. Most people freeze when uncertainty appears. So the one who steps forward instantly looks like a leader. Whatever you do, commit fully. Half measures reveal doubt, and doubt kills trust. Bold action multiplies your presence. Hesitation erases it. Law 29. Plan all the way to the end. Power collapses when you move blindly. A brilliant example. During China's Han Dynasty, strategist Zhang Liang won impossible battles not because he was stronger, but because he planned the ending before the war even began. He studied his enemy's pride, fear, backup plans, and escape routes. He knew their reactions before they made them. Most people plan only the beginning. They think about the next step, not the final consequence. You must do the opposite. When you start a project, a conversation, a negotiation, a relationship, visualize the ending. Where could this lead? What dangers lie ahead? What outcome do I want? What must I avoid? Planning to the end protects you from sudden reversals, unexpected betrayals, and emotional decisions. Those who control the ending control the entire story. Law 30. Make your accomplishments seem effortless. People admire results, not struggle. In ancient Japan, the master swordsman Musashi was feared not because he boasted, but because his victories seemed effortless. His fluid motion, calm expression, and quiet demeanor told a story. Power without strain. This law teaches you to hide the grind, the failures, the sleepless nights. Show the polished result. Let your success appear natural, even inevitable. When people think something is easy for you, they respect you more. They see you as gifted. They stop competing. They underestimate the depth of your skill. Behind the scenes, you can work endlessly, but in public, you reveal only mastery. Power is strongest when it feels weightless. Section 6. Laws of control, advantage, and illusion. Law 31. Control the options. Get others to play with the cards you deal. Real power isn't forcing someone to choose what you want, it's giving them choices where every option benefits you. Think of the classic Monty Hall trap in negotiations used by ancient diplomats. A king who wanted tribute from a smaller kingdom didn't demand it. Instead, he offered them options. Send gold or send soldiers for protection. Either way, the smaller kingdom served him. This law shapes the battlefield before the battle begins. In your world, if you want someone to agree to something, never give them a yes-no choice. Give them option A or option B, both of which lead to your goal. Control the frame, control the available doors, control the narrative around the decision. People feel free while walking exactly where you guide them. Influence is strongest when the other person believes the choice was theirs. Law 32. Play to people's fantasies. Reality is often dull, harsh, and disappointing. That's exactly why people escape into fantasy, and the one who offers the best fantasy becomes the one they follow. In Renaissance Italy, the most beloved leaders weren't the most realistic, but the most visionary. They painted futures filled with prosperity, beauty, and glory, and the public adored them. Even modern marketing uses this law. People buy not the product, but the dream of who they could become. To use this law ethically, feed people hope, show them possibilities, offer a version of the future that feels inspiring, relieving, or magical. Never present cold truth when a warm vision can move hearts. Facts move minds. Fantasies move people. Law 33. Discover each man's thumbscrew. Every person has a weak point, a hidden fear, desire, insecurity, or emotional trigger that shapes their decisions. Legendary strategist Cardinal Richelieu mastered this law. He didn't overpower his enemies. He learned their thumbscrews, a secret affair, a financial dependency, a private fear, a vanity, a guilty conscience. Then he applied gentle pressure, and they bent. To apply this law ethically, observe. What praises make someone light up? What criticisms make them defensive? What do they chase? What do they avoid? What makes them emotional? Once you know what drives someone, you understand how to predict them and how to influence them. Find the lever, and the whole machine becomes easy to move. Law 34. Be royal in your own fashion. Act like a king to be treated like one. Respect doesn't come from status, it comes from self-perception. History remembers Catherine the Great not because she was born into greatness, but because she carried herself like she already possessed it. Her confidence, elegance, and decisiveness forced people to treat her as royalty long before she ascended the throne. People respond to the energy you carry. If you act inferior, they treat you that way. If you act timid, they overlook you. But if you move with presence, calm, firm, certain, the world adjusts. Stand tall, speak with clarity, set boundaries, dress intentionally, carry yourself as someone worth respecting. You teach people how to treat you by the way you treat yourself. Royalty is a performance long before it is a title. Section 7. Laws of reputation, timing, and mastery. Law 35. Master the art of timing. In power, timing is not a skill, it's a weapon. History remembers Joseph Fouché, a man who survived every political storm of the French Revolution because he understood one thing. Move too early, you are a traitor. Move too late, you're a fool. But move at the perfect moment, and you appear prophetic. Fouché knew when to act, when to disappear, when to switch sides, and when to re-emerge with new alliances. His genius wasn't luck. It was patience, sharpened into strategy. Greene teaches that time is the ultimate filter. The impatient reveal their weaknesses. The reckless reveal their desperation. The wise wait and strike with precision. In your own life, not every opportunity must be seized. Some require waiting, some require restraint, and the most powerful ones appear only when you have learned to read the rhythms around you. Power belongs to the person who can pause, because the one who controls their timing controls the outcome. Law 36. Disdain things you cannot have. The things you chase gain power over you. The things you ignore lose it instantly. King Henry VIII understood this to a brutal degree. When Catherine of Aragon resisted his will, he didn't obsess or plead. He simply shifted his desire elsewhere, and his very indifference became a weapon. Greene explains that what you pay attention to, you strengthen. What you resist, you reinforce. What you disdain, dissolves. In everyday life, this law is deceptively simple. The more energy you give to something unavailable, a person, an opportunity, an outcome, the more it dominates you. But when you withdraw your attention, when you act as if the loss is insignificant, the power dynamic flips. Scarcity fuels desire. Indifference kills it. To disdain what you cannot have is not bitterness, it's strategy. It protects your dignity, your focus, and your leverage. Law 37. Create compelling spectacles. Power needs presence. It needs drama. It needs the stage. In the 18th century, a mysterious healer named Dr. Weislater cured people using nothing but moonlight. The elite lined up for him, not because it made sense, but because it looked magnificent. Humans are emotional creatures, hypnotized by imagery. Greene points out that while logic invites debate, a spectacle sweeps the mind before it can question anything. Leaders, brands, movements, and even influencers rise because they master this law. People follow what dazzles them. You don't need grand illusions, just presentation, the way you enter a room, the story you tell, the confidence you radiate. All these are spectacles in miniature. If you don't control the narrative around you, someone else will. Better to become the director of your own stage. Law 38. Think as you like, but behave like others. The battlefield of power is not always about strength. Sometimes it's about camouflage. General Pausanias, a brilliant Spartan commander, conquered lands far from Greece, but success inflated his ego. He mocked his own culture, flaunted foreign customs, and displayed superiority too openly. His own people turned on him, not because he was wrong, but because he made them feel small. Greene's warning is sharp. To be different is fine. To flaunt that difference is fatal. True individuality is internal. External rebellion invites envy, suspicion, and attack. Blend in when needed. Speak the common language. Respect the norms of the tribe. Your real thoughts, dreams, and plans, keep them protected behind the curtain. As the book teaches, appear ordinary, think extraordinary. That's how you grow power without awakening resistance. Section 8. Laws of emotional control and strategic pressure. Law 39. Stir up waters to catch fish anger is a gift, but only when it belongs to your enemy. Greene tells the story of countless rulers who used one tactic repeatedly, pushed the opponent into emotion, and their strategy collapses. A calm mind can think, an angry mind can only react. This law isn't about cruelty, it's about clarity. When someone is emotional, they reveal their intentions, their insecurities, their blind spots. They make mistakes you could never force out of them logically. In modern life, you'll see this everywhere. The colleague who snaps when challenged, the competitor who panics and overplays, the friend who reveals too much when upset. But the real mastery is this: never let anyone stir your waters. Stay unreadable, stay still. Because power flows to the person who stays calm while others drown in their own emotions. Law 40. Despise the free lunch. Nothing valuable is ever truly free. If someone gives you something without cost, the real price is hidden in the shadows. Louis XIV understood this perfectly. Instead of bribing people with pressure, he bought loyalty with generosity, but a generosity that tied people to him like invisible chains. The nobles accepted his lavish gifts, but with each free favor, they owed him more. Greene's message: a gift is a leash, and a free lunch is a silent contract. In your life, the hand that constantly gives may also be the hand that seeks to control. And your own willingness to pay your way, to invest, to contribute, to depend on no one, protects your independence. Be generous, yes, but be cautious of generosity aimed at you. Power weakens the moment you rely on another person's charity. The rule is simple: pay for what matters. Reject what hooks you. Law 41. Avoid stepping into a great man's shoes. What comes first always feels original. What comes after is compared. Alexander the Great inherited a kingdom led by a brilliant father, but instead of living under that shadow, he created new conquests, new identity, new legend, so massive that even his father's greatness faded behind him. Greene teaches that stepping into someone else's shoes is a trap. You invite comparison, and comparison is death. Whether it's joining a successful company, taking over a team, dating someone who idealizes their ex, or trying to replicate a mentor, you risk being seen as a weaker version of someone who came before you. The solution: break new ground. Create your own path. Reset expectations so people judge you on your terms, not someone else's legacy. In power, identity is everything. Don't borrow someone's. Build your own. Law 42. Strike the shepherd, and the sheep will scatter. Every group has a center of gravity, a leader, a voice, an energy source that keeps everyone together. Remove that center, and the entire structure collapses. From ancient kingdoms to modern corporations, revolutions have always started the same way. Target the influencer, not the crowd. Eliminate the driving force, and followers lose direction. Greene's insight is simple but ruthless. Problems rarely come from everyone. They come from someone. A single toxic leader, one troublemaker, one whispering source can corrupt an entire culture. Identify that person early. Neutralize their influence, whether through isolation, exposure, or simply removing their access to the group. When the shepherd falls, the sheep don't fight, they scatter. And sometimes the most powerful move is not overpowering many, but silencing one. Section 9. Laws of Influence, Reflection, and Human Nature. Law 43. Work on the hearts and minds of others. Power built through force collapses the moment the pressure fades, but power built through emotion lasts. Marie Antoinette learned this lesson too late. She believed the people existed to serve her, not the other way around. She ignored their hunger, their desperation, their anger, and in doing so, she surrendered the one thing a ruler cannot lose: the hearts of the people. Greene emphasizes that humans are not logical machines. They are emotional engines. You cannot drag people into your vision. You must make them want to move with you. Influence is not domination. It is seduction. In your life, the same rule applies. People will follow you when they feel understood, valued, and respected. Win their minds with clarity. Win their hearts with empathy. Only then do you gain a loyalty that cannot be forced, only earned. Law 44. Disarm and infuriate with the mirror effect. What do humans hate most? Being confronted with the truth, especially when it looks exactly like them. Alcibiades, the brilliant but dangerous Athenian, mastered this law. He became a mirror to every group he encountered. With the Athenians, he was democratic and charming. With the Spartans, he was tough and ruthless. With the Persians, he was regal and calculating. He reflected their values so perfectly that suspicion evaporated, until it was too late. Greene's point is sharp. Mirroring is the ultimate disguise. When you imitate someone's tone, rhythm, values, even their weaknesses, they drop their guard. They trust you. But if you mirror their flaws or actions too closely, you expose their hypocrisy and you trigger rage. Mirroring can seduce. Mirroring can manipulate. Mirroring can destroy. Power lies in choosing which outcome you want. Law 45. Preach the need for change, but never reform too much at once. Humans fear the unfamiliar more than they fear suffering. This is why revolutions collapse, companies fail, and brilliant ideas die before they begin. Not because the vision was wrong, but because the change was too sudden. Greene cites the downfall of many rulers who attempted rapid reform. People resisted not the improvement, but the speed. The psychology here is timeless. New ideas threaten identity. Sweeping change threatens stability. If you want your vision to last, guide people step by step. Make each change feel like a natural evolution, not a revolution. Let them believe the new way was their idea. True power is subtle. It bends the world over time, not overnight. 46. Never appear too perfect. Humans worship perfection until it stands next to them. Then they envy it. Then they resent it. Then they try to destroy it. Greene repeats a truth older than empires. Perfection isolates you. Imperfection connects you. Even the most talented courtier learned to sprinkle small flaws into their image, a harmless mistake, a minor weakness, a relatable trait. These imperfections were shields against envy. La Rochefoucauld famously said, "It takes great skill to hide one's skill." In real life, when you appear too flawless, people feel judged in your presence. They seek cracks. They invent flaws. They root for your downfall. So let them see humanity. Let them see effort. Let them see a touch of struggle, not to weaken your power, but to protect it. Section 10. Laws of final mastery and ultimate adaptation. Law 47. Do not go past the mark you aimed for. In victory, learn when to stop. Victory is intoxicating. It blurs judgment. It whispers, a little more, just a little more. But the moment after success is when most people destroy everything they've built. Madame de Pompadour understood this rare truth. As the beloved mistress of King Louis XV, she held immense influence. Yet when she sensed the limits of her power, when she could no longer satisfy the king's desires, she did not cling, demand, or push beyond her reach. Instead, she adapted. She introduced other companions to the king to preserve her position, a humbling move, but a strategic one. Greene's warning is razor sharp. Push past your victory line, and you turn allies into enemies. You turn admiration into resentment. You turn success into downfall. Know your destination before you move. And when you reach it, stop. A king who keeps conquering eventually loses the empire he already owns. In life, in negotiation, ambition, love, conflict, the art isn't winning. It's knowing when the win is complete. Law 48. Assume formlessness. This is the final law for a reason. It is the law that transcends all others. Sparta was the greatest military force of its time, disciplined, fierce, immovable. But that strength was also rigidity. They refused to evolve, to trade, to adapt. Athens changed with the world. Sparta resisted it. And while Athens transformed, Sparta crumbled. Greene's last command is simple and powerful. Do not be a shape that the world can grab. Be water. Be movement. Be adaptable. Bruce Lee expressed it perfectly. If you pour water into a cup, it becomes the cup. To assume formlessness is to become untouchable. Your strategies shift, your identity grows, your plans evolve faster than others can predict. People who remain fixed become predictable. People who are predictable become vulnerable. People who are vulnerable lose power. Formlessness is freedom, and freedom is the highest form of power. Power isn't a crown you place on your head. It's a rhythm you learn to move with, a silent force shaping how you speak, act, and respond. And after all 48 laws, one truth stands above the rest. Power belongs to those who understand human nature, not those who try to dominate it. Look at the patterns from every story we explored. Kings who lost empires because they couldn't master their emotions. Generals who won wars because they mastered timing. Courtiers who rose from nothing because they mastered perception. Nations that collapsed because they refused to evolve. From all of this, one insight becomes crystal clear. Real power is subtle, quiet, patient, and strategic. It adapts like water. It observes like a spy. And when it moves once, with precision. Most people think power is controlling others. But the deeper truth is, power is the art of never letting the world control you. You don't need a title or authority to use these laws. You already have the real tools: awareness, discipline, choice. But knowledge without application? Worthless. So as we wrap up, here are 3 most actionable ideas. 1. Speak less than you want to say. 50% less in conversations. Let others reveal more. You stay unreadable and powerful. Immediate effect. People take your words more seriously because you use fewer of them. 2. Delay your first reaction when you feel anger, fear, jealousy, or insecurity. Pause for 10 seconds before responding. Immediate effect. You stop emotional mistakes and gain control over any interaction. 3. Remove one weakness every week. Instead of vague adapting, do this. Pick one small vulnerability and eliminate it. Examples. Fix one bad habit that makes you predictable. Remove one person who drains you. Set one boundary you've been avoiding. Replace one time-wasting routine. Learn one skill that improves your leverage. Immediate effect. You become harder to manipulate, harder to corner, and easier to respect. Finally, the 48 Laws of Power isn't about manipulation. It's a map of human behavior, desire, fear, ambition, and influence. Use it wisely. Use it ethically. Let it sharpen your awareness and expand your agency in every room you enter. And from this moment on, you are no longer reacting to the world. You are directing your presence inside it.